Hello, good morning. Let's see, where were we at? Yes, there we go. Okay, so I actually had a demo on Friday showing off the project internally at Codesandbox, and these are people who actually work on the code base, and they related to the challenges we have. And even though it was like a very quick run through, I didn't really talk about the dependency injection or anything like that, because there were other people as well, not programmers at the presentation. So I hadn't even like really prepared it. But the thing that kind of hit home is that, first of all, that at Codesandbox we are actually trying to build these kinds of tools where UI aids you in writing code. It doesn't replace writing code, but it aids you. So it's kind of like a really good proof of concept of what we can do there. But also in terms of actually having this disposable system, so that, as I mentioned in the presentation, if you're on the editor page, you actually have instances of the editor, the sandbox, deployment. Every module is an instance, the directories, GitHub, and so on. And if you move to home, everything through here is disposed of. So if there's anything asynchronous going on, any logic beyond that asynchronous code won't run, which is really important. Yes. And then also like just having this isolated private public logic and so on. Also showing the example with the auth and the state machine. Like, state machines seem so complex and people kind of cringe a little bit when you talk about them. I could probably have done a better job explaining it, but I didn't have that much time. But I think this auth file is a really good example of how you properly, like how a state machine actually helps you. So when you sign in, you don't just write the logic, you just send a request, like an event for that method to have triggered. And then it's up to this piece of logic to figure out if that event should be handled or not. So it will only be handled if you are actually unauthenticated. Then we handle that event, which then triggers like some logic and then returns that we are authenticating. And again, whenever we do something async, we don't run the logic, we send another event that, okay, this async thing is done. Let's just send an event about that. And then based on the state of the machine, that stuff will be managed or not. So in case if this auth was disposed, this is a singleton, so it can't be disposed, but if it was like a factory and it was disposed, it wouldn't handle any events. And if it was in the wrong state, it would also not handle the event. That's the whole point. Cool. So what should we do today? Well, we were working on auth. We were looking at on sign in requested. We were running the logic for showing the pop-up. And let's see. So the thing about this pop-up, so hopefully during this stream we can actually make this work. So the thing about this pop-up, we're waiting for a message on the pop-up itself, but we aren't really doing that. we are actually just listening to messages on the window. So I'm not sure if this is actually what we want. What we rather want is for us to listen for the pop-up to actually close. And I think there isn't there like a pop-up on close? Yeah. So this is rather what we want. We want to... Why is this going wrong? Oh yeah. Ah, this is so weird. If pop-up. So if we have a pop-up there, we want to say that if we have a rejector, then we want to call it, right? Yeah, and I think we want to wait for messages related to... So this is really complex. The point is we want to open the pop-up, and then we want to listen for messages related to the pop-up being open. So in that case, it makes sense to have wait for message on the pop-up itself. Because if the user just closes the pop-up, we want this thing to reject, right? But if we do get these messages during the time the pop-up actually is open, then we want to yeah, maybe we should just... I'm not sure what we're trying to do here. Like, do we want... What if we just do wait for message in general, and then we wait for this stuff? Then we would risk... Yeah, no, I think that's okay. Because then what we rather do is we open the pop-up, we wait for it to close. But then we can't... we return close. Okay, so instead of doing... Yeah, so we would actually wait. Okay, yeah, so we would revert it. We would rather wait for these messages. Then we would open... Yeah, how would we do this? Because we want to wait for the pop-up to close, and we want to wait for the message. And if either of them happens, we don't want to wait for the message anymore. This is such a weird piece of logic. What I like about this is that if we wait for the message on the pop-up, it means that if the pop-up closes, this actually throws, right? That's what we want. So we have to listen for it related to the pop-up, because this can be invalidated by the pop-up closing. I think it has to be this way. But what we could rather do is instead of like putting we could say wait for message is actually a browser API, and then this thing can like reuse wait for message. Let's see how that looks like. So if we move this back to wait for message, like that, and then we are going to say let's do a const on this instead. Close equals wait for message. And what we want to do here, we want to add something. We want to What do we want to do? We do want to return a new promise. Yeah, sorry, this is something we really want. Can I do this? But now this is like pop-up message. It will be window message. Okay, so we need to, this extends window message. And then we pass in t type. What the hell? Oh my god, this is such a mind-bending piece of feature. What do we want to, let's write it first. Like, how do we want to express this? So what I want to do, I want to be able to say pop-up wait for message. So it's going to work the same way, but here it actually deals with this rejector, which means that if we wait for a message and we close it, we will reject it. Or if we would close it somewhere else, we would reject it. That's the whole point. And then this piece of logic, this wait for message, this should just be, this doesn't really ever reject. Right? That's the whole point. So let's remove that. Oh, it still returns a promise, but it only does this. So we don't have the rejector there. Yeah, and it doesn't take, let's see, window message. Well, this would be T. Oh my god, TypeScript. I've been writing TypeScript all weekend. I refactored the whole typing implementation of Overmind, and it's actually really awesome now. But oh man, I've learned a lot about TypeScript through Overmind, because typing there had like a specific approach, which led to a lot of black magic in TypeScript. But also I see that I overcomplicated things. So super eager to get like a new release on that. But we need to get in, yeah, that reminds me. I have to test the next release on Codesandbox, because we need to get that out first, because changing the inner typing system will create a breaking change of Overmind. So yeah, okay, anyways, so I'm waiting for a message. I give it the types of messages, and then I send in the type, which is, yeah, okay. I guess this makes sense. Yeah, because here we are basically sending one message, so I can just do this. Yeah, But here we are extending window message where there can be multiple messages. That's the point. So the message here might be T, yeah, whatever it is, and then well, this is not T, this is a specific T. So how do we do that? How do we type that? So we can't use, yeah, this is interesting. Because now we're saying that, okay, if I have 3 different messages here, the input can be either of those 3 messages, but then we actually want to return, we want this to be inferred here. Ooh, how do we do that? Because we can't mix a generic in here, and if I put it here, it means we can't use it here. We can't do this. Why can't we do this? That sucks. So if I did like, okay, I want this to be a generic, but now I can't say promise over there. And if I put the generic here, it means it can't work because I want to explicitly send in the message. So what I would rather have to do, I would rather have to type the different kinds of messages that can arrive. I guess that's a better API. So what I would rather do is that I would say export type window message. And then I would actually type the different kinds of window messages we can get. And then we can use generics here. So I can rather say window message type, and then that becomes the generic, and then we can say, okay, this returns window message and type is T. And then this would be T extends window message. Yes, that can be any message, and then O also extends window message. That becomes the output, right, like that. And then we say, okay, so this can either be, I'm not sure if I actually need to type this, but let's just do it. Extends window message T O. Oh, haven't I? Oh, how do we do? I'm not sure if I need to type this. Let's not type it. Because this kind of takes the care of the typing there. So I think we can just do type is like a string or a callback, where we get the event data, window message, window message. I think we can just do that, and these 2 types will override this stuff. Anyways, so what we want to do here, now we have this generic wait for message, and then we want to say rejector equals reject. Then we want to say this wait for message. Then we kind of have to retype this thing. type of this. Can I do that? This wait. Wait for message. No, I can't do that. Because we want the same typing. We just want to wrap it. Wait, I think we can do... Can we do that? No, we can't do that. Shit. This became such a horribly difficult thing to implement. God damn it. So we could like implement... No. Okay, so what is this thing supposed to do? It's supposed to give a rejector. But then if we're waiting for the message and we reject this thing, then we don't want to wait anymore. Oh my god, this is just horrible. And I'm really not in the mood for implementing this. I'm not feeling in the mood for this at all. It's actually super annoying. I don't like this at all. God damn it. Like we could add like a cancel thing to this promise. That will also work. But then we would have like on cancel or something. No, we wouldn't need that. Oh, god damn it. It's so annoying. Like, I had such a great morning. I was really looking forward to doing some coding. And then I'm getting super stuck. And then when I have like these really stressful bad mornings, then I'm like super into the coding. So annoying. Because we have to type this. Like this should have the same signature as this one, but the signature is quite complex. So I don't want to like repeat it. I want to... I think I'm just going to sit there and stare at the screen. That usually helps. How do I want this to work? I need to dispose of... I actually want to wait for a message, but if we close the pop-up, then I don't want to wait for the message anymore. How do I express that? I could wait for... So I could make... What the fuck? Yeah, so what we could do instead, we can make wait for message like an event listener, which returns a disposer. And then we listen for messages, we have the disposer, we literally try to await opening a pop-up. Well, we shouldn't await it. God damn it. This is like an unwieldy, complex, difficult thing to express. Like having a pop-up where you wait for a message, and if you close, you don't want to listen for the message anymore. But if you get the message, you want to close the pop-up automatically. Like I can't see any good way to, like this, I think this is a good way to deal with it. That you have the pop-up, on the pop-up you actually wait for the message. Because if the pop-up closes, it can stop listening for the message. But the problem is we generally want to wait for messages. So we want to reuse that piece of logic, but that means that we need to wrap that with our own rejection management. But then we have to retype the whole thing. Isn't there a way to type methods? As an interface? So I could like move this stuff up to an interface, and then I could say like wait for message uses this interface typing. Because that's really what I want. Or can I do like interface wait for message that way, and then I can say like wait for message is, yeah, I can do that. What is this saying? Oh yeah, we have to resolve something, I guess. Do I have to do the same as here? No, that shouldn't be necessary, should it? Because now this is actually, why is that any? I can't believe they haven't fixed this yet. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, it's the resolver. Okay, but that's cool. So it would be like this, wait for message, type, then resolve. Why aren't you happy? Value unknown. Oh yeah, is it because of... God damn it. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream. I'm getting like, I'm not in the mood for this at all today for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, my brain isn't working. It's just one of those days. Anyways, I hope you have a better day. And this will just, yeah, I'll figure this out, a good way to do this. But yeah, this was super annoying. I think I have to go and grab some food or something. Okay, bye for now.